Hi everyone, welcome to Lisa's Painting Parties. This is Lisa and we are back at it again live this Wednesday evening. This week we are painting our version of Hidden Waterfall. So this was the painting that won the vote for this week, and this is what we'll be painting together today. So what I would suggest is if you wanted to grab a screenshot of this, you can take it now if you'd like, or if you wanted to grab a snap of this image from yesterday's winning post, you can do that, just so you have a reference that's closer. It's a little fuzzy too back here, but again, we're trying to get like the inspiration of it. We're not going to try to create this exactly as it is. It's to get that feeling of it. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's a little tricky. Don't get dissuaded. You can always watch this too and then follow along afterwards if you'd like. I know a few people were a little apprehensive about it, and I'm a little apprehensive about it too. But I think we'll do a really great job with it, so I'm excited for us to try this out. It's good to challenge ourselves. So we're going to be doing this one soon, and I'll walk through my approach to it. So for anyone who hasn't joined before, the painting party is basically every week. I give you all 3 options to choose from. The options are all things that I find online, whether it's through Google searches or Pinterest searches, or sometimes people have sent me pictures or images that they really like. And if I like them and I think it'll be fun to paint them, then I will choose 3 of them each week and put it up for you guys to all vote on it and see what you like. And the one that has the most votes by the following Tuesday at noon is the one that we paint live together on the Wednesday night. So this is my first time attempting to paint this. And what I do with you is that we all paint together. I will walk you through my process as to how I'm going to approach doing this. And hopefully a lot of you do find it valuable, which is great. And hopefully a lot of you guys who haven't joined before will too. And if you have any tips or tricks or anything that's working really well for you or something you're struggling with, please put it in the comments. And I will try to answer. And also I encourage others who are also watching to answer as well. So please we'll make this a community and everyone can help each other. And the last thing I ask for too is just like, if you do decide to paint along and if you've created something wonderful, then please share it with us too, because it's always fun to see everyone's work. It's great to like learn from each other and check things out. It's no judgment zone, so don't feel apprehensive about that either. It's just here to have fun and make this really accessible for everyone. Okay, so we'll get started momentarily. Also, if you'd like, you can buy me a coffee. There's a link there. If you wanted to send a tip, you're more than welcome to. It's not mandatory and you don't have to feel obligated at all. These videos are free. But if you'd like to do that, of course, it's always appreciated. If you want to host your own virtual paint party, message me. If you want to do it for a birthday party or some kind of group gathering, I've done quite a few of them in the last little bit, and they've been super fun. Again, everything here is free. You can always use any of my pre-recorded sessions if you want to have your own gathering. I'm totally cool with that. The great thing about doing it all together is that we obviously can have more direct interaction. I host it over Zoom, and then we can actually talk. You can show me your images, and we can have more collaboration that way, which is always great. So if that's something that you might be interested in, definitely reach out and let me know. All right, so without further ado, I think the comments are now back where they normally were. Thank goodness. Last week was tricky. They like had them in a different spot, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. Hi, Joe. Glad you're joining. Hi, Jody. It's raining here too, actually. You're in Kentucky, and it's raining there. That's so funny. Yeah, so I'm in Ontario, and it's been raining all day today. And for the last, like, I feel hour, there's been, like, a helicopter or something that's just been, like, going up and down. Oh, Crystal's on. Crystal, you're in Ajax. Hi, Crystal. I think you were right. I think it was you. Have you been hearing that helicopter that's been going on? It's driving me nuts. Like, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, maybe there's something on the highway. We're close to a highway here, so, but it's been very annoying. So I have in the background, I put on like this waterfall bird chirping thing in the background. I thought it was applicable for our painting today, so we'll see how that goes. Ashley, I'm glad you're joining. Fantastic. Oh, so good. Yes, Crystal is, yes, I did host Crystal's birthday party. It was so much fun. Her group, granted, like anyone else who wants to do a party, like you have a challenge ahead of you, because Crystal's group was super fun. Very engaging. It was super fun. So that's the challenge I have for all of you. Hi, Terry. Oh, no way! Come on! shoot, eh? I shouldn't say shoot. I always say the most inappropriate things at the wrong times. Yeah, that's really sad. No way. Well, that makes a lot more sense. Crystal just wrote it was a shooting that happened, in case anyone can't see the comments that are watching this. So, woo! Okay, well, that makes a lot more sense. All right, onward and upward, hopefully. All right, let's go from there. So, in terms of our supplies, hard pivot. Hi, Jean from Wisconsin. Nice, thanks for joining. In terms of our supplies, so what you'll need is some sort of canvas. This original image definitely is much more long, right? It does have the image, it has the size of the image at the bottom. It's a 236 by 464, but like, again, I don't know if that was pixels or if that was actually the size of the image. I'm not 100%. But just for like reference, like I'm doing an 11 by 14, and it's definitely, this is more like fatter than that one. That was a lot more slimmer. So it's not going to be exactly the same, but I want to get the same vibes that we have on that onto this canvas. So whatever canvas you're using, whether it's a smaller one or a larger one or a totally different shape, we can still get that same kind of feeling from this. I feel very like, it seems like very dreamy and calm and peaceful. So that's what I want to capture. There's almost like a mist on it. So that'd be kind of interesting to see how we can do. So definitely kind of more abstract flow. That's the vibe I think I'm going to go with. We can talk about that. Anywho, hi Doreen. I'm so glad you're joining from North Bay. Fantastic. That's just a little far away from me. Just a little bit. All right. So in terms of paint, I have my trusty old acrylic paints. I'm getting so low on my blue paint, and I need to go to the Dollarama to get more paint. And I don't know if I can buy paint at the moment, so I have to do some curbside pickup from like Michael's or something. But anyways, I have blue, red, yellow, I have white, I have black. So if you have these basic colors, you can make any other colors with them. If you have pre-mixed colors, I do have some. Because I'm getting quite low on my blue, I will be relying a little bit on some of the pre-mixed like greens I have, and maybe some purple if I need, just because I'm a little bit low. But I will talk you through what you need to mix to get certain colors. I also have some pre-mixed brown too that I might dip into again, just because I don't want to waste or use all my blue right now. I also have some water containers ready to go, and I have paintbrushes. I always recommend having at least 3 sizes. So if you have a large one for coverage, this one's not very fine actually. Do I have a more fine one? Oh, this one got all weird. I don't know if I just didn't dry them very well. No, this one's a bit better. There's my fine one. That's a bit nicer. It's a bit fatter, but it gives me a nicer line. So I have a fine brush, a medium brush, and a nice large one. This one's a size 10, and it's very flat, but it kind of has a nice thin side to it like that. They're like a flat brush. This is like a 4, and this one's a 4 as well, but it does have a very fine point, so it's more of a rounded brush with a fine point. So those are usually my go-tos. Sometimes I'll switch between them, but if you have that, then you're pretty much set to go, depending on the relation of your canvas. Hi, Niru. I'm glad you're joining. I think you were the one who was a little bit concerned about this, so yeah, don't worry. We'll walk through it and we'll see how it goes. PayPal isn't working. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks for letting me know, Jody. I will take a look and see what's going on. That is interesting. Thanks for giving me the heads up. All right. Well, and I also have paper towels. That's the other thing I have. So we got paint, brushes, water, some kind of thing to mix your paint on, a palette, your canvas, and some paper towels. I might need some more paper towels. We'll see how that goes. Okay. So now let's talk through how we're going to approach recreating this painting. And then I'll move the camera so you can see my canvas over, and we'll get started to painting. So in terms of this painting, as with all acrylic ones that we go through, I like to start with whatever's furthest back in the picture. So whatever is in the background. So what we have here is kind of this like feeling of a bunch of trees. So if you look right in the background, so the top maybe quarter of your painting is what we're going to focus on to create this like blend. It almost reminds me of, do you remember, like, I think it was in the 90s, or maybe, yeah, probably the 90s, how people used to like use sponges on their walls, and they would have like different colors, and I thought it was the coolest thing because I was like a preteen at the time, and I was like, I want this for my walls. That's the kind of vibe this is giving me. So I want to create kind of like a mismatch of kind of colors. I'm not using a sponge. If you have a sponge, definitely go use that. I'm going to play with my brushes and play with that kind of messy color mixing mashup, and I'll walk you through a little bit of what I'm thinking. It's going to be a matter of really kind of like splotching different colors on and then trying to blend them slightly. That's my expert technique on that. So we'll play with that a little bit. That's going to be the first thing we do. From there, I think we're going to start building out like the rocks and like what everything's kind of sitting on, and then we'll continue on from that process. So we'll do that. We'll do this background first. We'll then maybe move on to some of the rocks, and then we'll go from there. But I do think this will take some time. I think this painting might take longer than 2 hours realistically. Again, you can always rewatch this whenever you so desire, so you don't have to feel like you have to do everything like right now. You can always, this will be available on my page under the videos tab. It'll also be on my YouTube channel after, so you don't have to, if it gets a little bit too long. Because I know for some of you said before that it's a little bit long to do the whole time. All right, I need to take a sip of water because my throat's already been talking too much in these last 15 minutes, I guess. Yes, Tracy, it was. So what I usually do when I have the 3 options that we're going to be choosing, I set it up so it does like an automatic post on my page. So I have like the next like 4 to 6 weeks kind of already lined up. And so I sometimes forget which ones I've chosen. So when this one came up and I saw it, I thought, oh man, like I guess I was feeling very confident and adventurous when I posted it. So I did not feel as confident when I saw it after, and I thought, oh man, like people loved it too. I think it had like 58% of the vote, or 50, it was high. The other 2 you all really loved as well, and they were very close. I think they kind of like evened out. So I know many of you had said that you'd want those to come back as options in the future. So I'm definitely down so we can see how that goes. Those are also options too, like if you did want to do some kind of private party or something like that too, you can always pick ones that weren't chosen before, and we can always test that out as well. It really just depends on your group of people that you want to have. That'd be the other thing, because some people might be a little scared about those. Oh, you're so sweet, Tracy. That's so sweet. I hope so. I feel like as long as there's love in things, that you can't really go as wrong, I guess, right? That's my approach. All right, I'm going to move this camera so you don't need to see me fully anymore. Just going to make sure I don't spill water in the process. My manual zoom in process. Physically move my table closer to my canvas. I'm old school over here. Okay, so now playing with all of this. So I want to, on my palette, kind of put a little bit of everything. I do see some like purples happening. I see some greens. I see some grays. So on my palette, I will use a little bit of my blue. I'm going to just put the paint on the palette first, and then I'll hold the palette up so you can see how much paint. I'm only putting like a little bit of each. Oh no, don't be nerve-wracked, Miru. Don't at all. Again, it's just paint, right? It's just acrylic paint. If you mess up, the great thing about acrylic, I just say mess up, if you're not happy with it, the great thing about acrylic paint is once it dries, you just paint right over it. So no stress. No stress whatsoever. Just have fun. Ooh, I'm kind of low on my black. Oh, I probably should have done a little bit of a check before going live. I was a little confident that everything else was good except for my blue. All right, so I've put, ooh, not leave much space in between there. Okay, so I just put like a little dab of each on there. I think I might add a little bit of pre-mixed green as well. And I think I might add a little bit of like a pre-mixed brown as well. Oof. So anyone else who's using cheap dollar store paints, you'll notice that they get a little bit chunky sometimes, and it's hard for them to pour out. I don't know if that happens with expensive paints too, as I've only really used these super cheap ones, but give me a moment, I just need to clear it out so I can get some paint out of here. That's not fun. All right. Let me do another way. We'll go this way. Oh my gosh. Okay. You couldn't see what I was doing. Your video keeps freezing. Okay, no problem. If you are seeing that it's freezing again, if it's getting too annoying, this will be available afterwards. And if you watch it on the YouTube channel or on the Facebook video later, like, it should be a bit better of a stream at that point. It seems to be okay on my end, so it should be okay as it's recording. Thanks, Jody. I appreciate it. Shirley, I am using cheap dollar store paints. So this paint is a Copenhagen blue. That is what I use. I use what is available at the Dollarama, and then I go with it. Bree says, oh, yeah, no problem. Definitely. You can definitely do whenever you so desire. Okay, so I think I'm going to start with my big old fatty brush. And I want to just get this kind of mix of, like, stuff happening in the background. We don't really know what's going on. It's very light. So I'm going to start, I think, with, blue? Sure, let's go with blue. Okay, so I'm going to put some blue. And I think I'm going to approach it by just putting little dabs of blue in random places. Yep, I feel good about that. Okay, then I'm going to grab more white than blue on the same brush. And I'm going to start to put white. Am I going to go on top of the blue yet? All right, yes, I am. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on top, get more white on my brush. That's what I'm doing. Perfect. Just to dull it out. Make this, like, cloudy appearance of random color splotches start happening. Okay, don't be precise about it. Try and leave elements where it's a bit darker and elements where it's a bit lighter. Now we have it kind of looking splotchy and weird. And now I'm going to do what? I want to do a little bit, I'm going to put a little bit of red and see what happens, but I feel like that might make it a little too bright. But I'm going to go with it. Today's a day of risks. Put a few little dots of red. I'm going to go back, so I just kind of wiped off my brush the excess red. You see those splotches? I'm going to go back. White's going to be our friend in terms of dulling these splotches down. Okay, so I'm trying to keep it messy. I'm trying to still keep the blue still showing overall, so I don't want to go too far. I want to just make it like messy splotches and trying to cover the whole canvas as I'm doing it. The whole canvas. No, the 1/4 that we want with a splotchy background is really what I mean by that. Okay, keep going with my white. Little X's and whatever. So yeah, I'm definitely channeling those 90s sponge paint wall vibes with this, for sure. Okay, yeah, let's dig in. So I think from here, hi Loretta, yeah, I'm excited about it. Hi Tina, hi Linda, glad you jumped in. Yay! Okay, so I'm going to keep with this process. Now, the thing though is, as you put like other colors, you don't want to make it all blend together and then it becomes just a big blob of blah color, right? We need to try to keep the little indicators of different colors still present. So I'm going to, I think, go in with a little bit of that brown. And again, I'm using a brown that already comes from a bottle today because I'm a bit low on my blue. If you want to make a brown, you do equal parts of blue, red, and yellow, and then you mix them, and then you'll get a brown. And then if you're using dollar store paints like I am, depending on like the blue, it might come out a little bit differently. So like when I use my Copenhagen blue, it's definitely different than like the peacock blue that I've used before, right? It definitely has a different vibe to it. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing with my browns. And again, I'm going to get more white on my brush and just play. I think I kind of want to change brushes at this point. I'm going to go a bit thinner. I don't know yet. So we're still going to build quite a bit on top of this too, right? So we're going to be putting in these ideas of branches, and there's going to be other things. But I want to just get some more ideas of colors happening in this. Should look at it and think like, oh yes, I see a little red, I see a little blue, I see a little purple. And then of course I think I want to put a little bit of green. And if you also need to mix your own green, you want to do blue and yellow. I like to put a little bit more yellow than blue. That's how I normally go into it. Hey Ashley. Yes, so why did I put red in it? I wanted to put red because I get like a bit of a purplish vibe in it. And so that's why I put the red in. That's pretty much what my thought process was. And I feel like as we keep adding a little bit more and more on top, it might blend in. I'm going to put a little bit of green too, I think. But maybe stick it more closer to the bottom, I think. I think that makes sense because it doesn't seem a lot of green on top. And then again, I'm going to do the same thing, just do little crisscrossies with the white. Make it look like, oh, there's some bushes or something back there. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe there's like some flowers there that we can't see, some bright red flowers, perhaps. Just a little bit more blue, I think. I already used up all the white that I already put on. I think we're going to use a lot of white for this to really make it very pretty and soft. Yeah, I think that's good. I don't know if I want to do a little bit lower. I think I'm good with that. Why does the picture keep changing color? Is it a light? This, you're talking about this picture, the one that we have here. It might be changing color. Like I have a couple of lights around me to try to give light to the room and to the painting. And I'm wondering if maybe when I move, maybe that's what's happening, potentially. So I'm not sure if that's it. What I would suggest if that keeps happening with the inspiration image, you might want to go to yesterday's post and then just go to the post that has the winning image and then just grab and have that as your reference, because this might not be as convenient to watch. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Thank you, Niru, for responding to Bree. Awesome. Yeah, that's exactly it. Both keep changing. Well, then that's odd. I don't know. And now I'm kind of like watching my camera screen, but like I can't paint and watch it. And I have, like, when I go like this, obviously I have a shadow, and I think it just changed. Maybe it's like recognizing that it's darker. Maybe that's it. I wonder. Hold on, let's see what I can do. Let's see if I put this like this. Yeah, it's still a shadow. I'm not exactly sure. The waterfall is going from white to blue. In the inspiration image, there is mostly white on it, and there is some blue behind it. So I don't know if that's it, but I would suggest if you need a reference image, definitely just grab the a screenshot or download the picture from yesterday. I think that would be the best. Hi, Asif. You missed by 10 minutes. Okay, what you can do is either you can rewind and take a look and watch, because I think you should be able to rewind. Or if you want me just to walk you through it briefly, is right now we're creating the background. So we just want to get that image of just like there's like different colors happening in the background to give the idea of like trees and other stuff that we can't see. So the way I did that was I first started with blue, and I just put a blotch of blue, a blotch, a blotch, a blotch, and then I got white, and then I kind of did little X's to like blend it in. And then I did the same thing with a little bit of red, same thing with a little bit of brown, and then a little bit of green, and then always using white to soften everything. But it might be easier to rewind to just check it out and see. Yeah, it's when I move. Darn it. I need like a better studio somehow. Yeah, right. Tell my husband, chop chop. I need to get a studio going. Let's do it. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I just want to touch up a little bit. I don't know if I want to use that color. We need you back. Even if you change colors, we need it back. That's fine. I'm just seeing a little bit of my canvas poke through, and anyone who's painted with me before knows that's like one of my pet peeves. I don't like to see like the canvas poking through. I just want to touch this a little bit. So you just want to keep that very light pastel-y vibe. Now, I did say we're going to go to the rocks next, but actually I think I want to put in a couple lines to make it feel like there's some trees happening in the background there. And that's like a really dark purple-ish color. So I would like to use that. Oh, thank you so much, Patty. I'm very good at mimicking. Not so good at coming up with my own like original ideas, but I really do love recreating things that I think are beautiful. From Waterfall, California. Oh, fantastic. And hi, Margaret. Alright, so I'm going to do my medium brush, I think, so I can start putting in some of these like purpley lines. So if you want to create purple, you want to mix red and blue together. Again, I'm low on my blue, so I am using a pre-mixed purple right now since I can't get it at the store right as of yet. Oh, well, have a good class, Niru. I'll see you soon. Take care. All right, so I'm using a premix, but you can mix blue and red together if you have. So I'm going to get some purple, and let's just see if that's going to work. I feel like that's going to be way too... This purple I have is very, like, intensely purple, and I'm just going to dull it a little bit with black. I want it to get, like, a very, very, very dark purple. I think that's better. Okay, so I'm just going to put a few little lines in to get some trees going. So there's, like, one. There's another one. I think I went a little thick at the top. So I'm just going to thicken it a little bit more at the bottom. Tree should be thicker at the base, and then it gets thinner as it goes up. So try to do the same thing with this one a bit. Okay. Just in the background. Some are a little thinner. And there's like some branches that are coming out and like curving a bit. Oh, I keep pushing down too hard at the where I want it to be thinner. I don't know if you were feeling that too. So thicken it up a little bit. And lots some kind of wonky branches. Sometimes I tend to make the branches really like straight arrows, and I'm like, that's not trees. Trees are kind of funky sometimes. Let's make sure we have some wonkier branches. But I have to tell myself that. It's not like natural for me to do. I'm just going to put a few more, kind of sticking around a little bit. And I have another one like here. I'll push it down this way. That makes more sense. Okay. Like that. We're going to have things kind of covering it, so I'm not going to worry too much about where it lands. And then we're going to maybe have like a branch. Gonna come from this guy. Maybe like another one like that. I don't know. Not sure, maybe another one here. So we just put a few branches in. I don't know. I'd say be creative, have fun with it. Put them in where you want. I'm gonna put a few more. Maybe you want to use your thinner brush for some of them. This brush is my medium one, but I'm using it on the side angle, but some of the lines are a little thicker than I want them to be. So just see how your brush is going and then make the changes if you feel like you need the thinner brush, right? Okay. Okay, what else? Do we want to put some more little lines in here? I'm not sure. Maybe like another one like here. Sure, why not? Alright, now I like these branches. They look kind of cool. Absolutely, Ruth, you can definitely watch it later. You can also rewind it as well. Consuela, yes, absolutely. I am recording so that you can watch it on my YouTube channel, or you can watch it under the videos tab. It'll be available in both, so all good in the hood. Okay. Well, maybe not. Maybe not, Ajax. We'll see. We'll see on the news what's happening. What is going on? So I kind of want to soften these a little bit. I'm trying to think of how best to do that. Maybe I'm just going to leave them for now, and then I may go back afterwards and soften them. I don't really mind them, but I feel like they're very noticeable, and I do want to make them a little softer, but I think I'm going to leave them for now, and I'm just going to move on and do some other components of the painting, and then come back to that later on. Coolio. Oh, Jody, you saved the image. Awesome. I think that is the best idea, considering my very difficult setup. Okay, so my idea, so the next step is we need to put the rock or the land formations that are on the side and kind of give structure to where this water is falling, right? So we need to do everything behind. So we have this a tree here, we have a rock here, a couple of bushes, another tree. So all of those things are going to be done later. We need to create the background of it. So I'm thinking, when I look at this side here, what I see is a lot of dark, and I see a little bit of high. Oh, that was another painting we did. My bad. I see a lot of dark, and then I see it to be more land. So you have more of the grass kind of happening at the top, but there isn't much happening behind that. It's just you have these bright things on top. So I want to, I think, kind of have it pretty solid in color, and then maybe create a little bit of texture that you might be able to see poking through between the other things we're going to put on top of it. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I'll show you what I mean momentarily. And then I'm going to do on this side, we have more, you can see more of the texture, you see more of the rock, but again, it's pretty much this one color. So obviously it's not as dark as this side. It has a bit more of a highlight. It has a bit more texture. So we'll have to do that side a little bit differently, I think. So I'm thinking I want to use a black, but I don't know if I want to go that dark right off the hop. I think, I don't know, because black will just make everything so dark. And I want to maybe do more of a dark purple thing. I don't know. I'm going back and forth a little bit. Okay, but regardless, I'm going to use my big old brush to start with this process. I'm definitely going to need more black paint though, because regardless, I know I'm going to use it to darken colors. If not, it's straight up. Okay, so let's start putting in this image. So, yeah, we'll do this brighter area after. So I'm going to start kind of just a little bit below where I want that brighter image to be. I'm going to start kind of around here, and I'm going to bring it down to almost to the bottom, because then there's going to be water. It's a big water pool here. So I'm going to kind of have this dark area from this side of things is where I want it. Okay. How am I going to do this? I don't know. Okay, no. I'm going to use black. Yeah, we're going to go black. Sure, let's do it. Okay. I'm going to go like this. And we're just going to bring it down. Doesn't matter because we're going to be putting things on top, so it's all good. Right, and it's going to end kind of about there because then the water will be at the bottom. Okay, so I'm just going to fill this part in, just to give it some background. And then we'll put in our other elements on top once this dries off. Now, I'm going to try not to use, I'm going to use a very thin layer, or try to use thin layer of paint. I don't want it to be very thick and globby, because if I do, it will take a heck of a lot longer to dry. So, I don't want to wait because I am a little impatient. I don't know, maybe I'll just keep it black and then just paint on top. I don't know yet. I don't know if it's necessary to do that. I want to bring it a little bit further than where I want the water, because the water, you want it to land, and I kind of do want this black to kind of be able to kind of have a little bit of black behind the waterfall too. So you know what, I'm going to bring it over a bit more, because we do see it like poking out a bit. Yeah, let's bring the black over. We'll paint the beautiful water on top of it. It's all good. Kind of thinking, because I know it's going to be a bit white on top, so I don't know if I'm going to do the whole thing in black, but and there is a little bit of black. It's kind of behind here, like it's a little dark behind this area, and it kind of goes up, and then you start seeing a bit more of the differences in the rock. So you know what? I'm going to bring it over and bring it up slightly, but maybe not as high as this other side. I don't think I really like, I think I said it a few times already, but I have, these are canvases I got from Desserts, and I don't think I'm that much of a fan of them. I feel like the paint goes on them weird. I don't like it. I got canvases from Amazon before, and I really like them a lot. Okay, so that's kind of like the rocky formation that is behind everything. We're going to be painting everything else on top of it. That's what we're looking at. Okay, so from here, I want to start putting in a little bit of this background color here too. It's kind of this like browny, orangey, yellowy. There's a bit of a different colors that are going on there. First, I'm going to just clear off that brush. I used all my black that I poured on there. Woo! Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm pretty low on my blue, so I am going to use my pre-mixed brown to start putting in these elements here on this side. So we have kind of like some kind of formation here. We have like another one like here. We have more here. I'm just going to start kind of like sketching it in almost with my paintbrush. And then we can play a bit with like what kind of colors we want on here and how we want this to live. Oops. I'm a little bit crazy. It's okay. Let's make it work. And I know we're going to have the waterfall, but I'm just going to start to blend this a little bit because it goes from one value to the next. So I know we have that tree and stuff, but it doesn't help to have like a nice transition. It doesn't help not to have a nice transition, so I'm just going to blend it a little bit. More brown. There are some like hilly, like grassy areas here too. Make it a little darker. I'm just gonna build in a little bit of it, a bit darker than the brown, because it kind of is. We have like some trees and stuff that we're going to build on top of that anyways. But I want to build my land a little bit higher. Make it a little bumpy and stuff. And then we're going to put our green on that side after. Okay, so right now it's kind of a big mess of brown. That goes into a big mess of black. And that's okay, and I want to let it dry out a little bit before I play more with what I want this to look like more exactly. So we just have some land happening. And it looks weird right now. And if yours doesn't look weird right now, then you're not doing it right. It should look a little bit funky. No, I'm joking. I don't actually mean that. Really, however you're doing it, enjoy it. It's important. Okay, then I'm going to put in a little bit of brown on this side, as this black is still a little wet, but I want to just put a touch of brown. Oh, that kind of disappeared entirely. I'm going to try to create a bit of a ledge or something. I don't think that's happening. I think I need to wait more. You know what? I give in. I will wait more. Alright, so then I want to also start putting the green here, like the land that is living on this side. I'm going to move on to my medium-sized brush though, just so a little bit more control over it. Okay, let's go right for the green, which is very bright, but that's okay. We'll play. Okay, so we want to have it like come up. I want to make it like bushy. That green is super bright. We need to dull it down for sure. But for now, let's just get a base. Give me something to work with here. Okay, let's get a little bit of brown. Add a little bit of brown as the green is still wet, just to start to dirty it up a bit, because like I said, this green is just way too bright for my liking. My green paint as well is very thin, so I know already looking at it, I definitely want to do another coating on it. I'm also going to start putting a little bit of yellow just to lighten it a bit. On this side, and just bring my brush kind of the yellow actually made it a bit darker, which is nice. The yellow's a little thicker in pigment, so it's good. Okay, I'm going to bring this a little bit lower, like there's some grass that's mossy stuff that's happening on this rock thing, I don't know. channeling again, sponge painter. There we go. Coolio. Alright. I'm digging that alright. Let's see what we're doing on that side. I want to start putting stuff there. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, baby. Okay, so I'm just going to take the excess paint off of my brush. I think I'm going to go with yellow to, I'm not exactly sure, to maybe start to give definition to some of these. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I'm going to try it. I'm just going to put yellow. My brown paint is still pretty wet. I'm just going to start to put a bit of yellow, like these yellow, like kind of mound, and just kind of blend it a little bit into the brown, just to start to have a little bit of texture into my rock formation. Using the yellow just to slightly differentiate, and then as I go in, I'm just mixing it with the brown. Has a couple different elements there. I don't know if I like them fully or not, but they're there. Okay. And then I'm going to put some, looks like there's another like mound thing happening back here. So using the yellow, and my brown paint is still wet. Just gonna continue to put these little like ridges. I'll do like another one like here, and this ridge is like a weirder ridge. Kind of goes down, then it goes up, and then it comes down. That, and then maybe we'll do another one like here. Yeah, looks like something. I'm not sure if I like that. I think we need some more. I think we need this not to be so dark or so light in certain areas. So I need to get a little bit of black and just darken some spot and just create a little bit more shadow in some areas to combat the highlights that I'm creating. Combat? Maybe combat's the wrong word. Enhance? Make the other one stand out, maybe? I'm not sure. We're gonna make it a little darker, bring it up a little bit. Darker around here. Okay, and then I think I want to bring a little bit of like blue in. A little bit of dark blue. I don't know why, it looks like there's a little bit showing there, and I think it does. Kind of go nicely with it. I don't want it to be like a big solid brown blob, so I'm just going to put in a few different kind of colors. That green may not have been the right option. We're going to go with it. Let's put some more brown. I don't want it to be so bright, but I do want a couple of different things happening in there. That's good. Just trying to put a little bit of darker on some of the areas that I think would be a little bit in shadow, and just messing up the brown. I don't really know about these curved circle things. I don't know. They seem a little too uniform, a little out of place, but I might go with it and then put in the water and then see how that looks with it. And then maybe I'll change it after if I still am not a fan. I feel like I need a little bit of like greenery or like moss or something like growing on top of some of these mounds. I'm just going to add a little bit, like a little line of green in some of these areas, just to be like, oh yes, a little mossy. Maybe that's why I need to add a little bit of green. I don't know if that's going to make it work. So, actually, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. Ooh, yeah. These pants get paint on them. Always wear your painting clothes for the paint parties. Okay, cool-ish. Okay, I'm going to darken this side up a little bit again because I can still see through a bit and I don't like that too much. I'm just going to put a little bit of brown. Just want to darken it and like blend it a little bit with the black. So mix it up a bit with black. Okay, and I think and get some yellow. There we go. Looks mossy, kind of dusty, kind of funky. I'm not sure about these mounds. Kind of weird. See that? Okay. Okay, I think it's almost time to put in our waterfall. Because the waterfall will be the next thing that we're going to do. And then once we have the waterfall in, we're going to put in, I think, the water. And then create like the splash kind of effect. And then we're going to put in all the foliage on top after, I think, is the plan. I mean, I guess we could do this like tree here, but yeah, no, I want to jump in and do the waterfall. Okay, let's do that. I'm just gonna clean up everything. I'm gonna keep using my medium-sized brush, and I'm thinking with the waterfall, I think I'm gonna go right in and use white, but I also need to keep in mind that I do want to use like a blue as well. I'm kind of thinking I might want to put the blue in first, but no, I'm gonna, yeah, let's go first with, I'm gonna go with my medium brush and go right in with the white and say, okay, so I want my waterfall, so there's gonna be like water here. And it's gonna come down. It's so weird because it's like, can't really see anything because it's already white. Okay. I'm gonna get paint in this area first. This whole section. I'm gonna come down this whole way here. And I'm gonna want it to be a little higher. two little bumps. Can't really see that well. That's okay. And it is going to cascade straight down. Right? And then this one is going to kind of bump over a little bit here. Oop, careful. And things are still wet. We don't want to make our water brown. That's okay though. We can still paint over it and white afterwards. It's fine. Okay, and then I want to bring that down. Okay. And I'm going to bring it down this way, this way. So I want it to be a little thicker here. It's a nice, thick, straight sheet of water that's coming down. I'm just going to bring a few little lines down, but I'm not going to do the whole thing white because there's there's a little bit of darkness happening, right? So sometimes the water might come down and then it might stop or it might join in with the other bits of water, right? And then this one here, we see it kind of come down like this. But it is a little thicker here, so I do want it to go a little thicker. I think in this area. It's still wet though, so my water's becoming brown, so I'm gonna have to touch up that after, but that's okay. We can touch it up after. No problemo. Right, and then that's gonna come. I think I'm gonna use my thinner brush maybe. I don't know. No, I'm gonna use this one. And I've got thinner as it goes down. Okay. What else? Where else? There's a lot of like light blue lines, but I think we're gonna put this in. And then, ooh, looks ghostly. I like it. Okay. Kind of curves and comes down. Okay. Okay, so now I want to get a little bit of blue in my white, dirty it up a little bit, just to get a little bit of blue happening. So I think I'm gonna. My strategy is to just put it along some of the edges. Like I'm not just doing it willy-nilly. Like I want to go on top of where I did my white paint and just put a little bit of, like, follow it down a little bit. Just to add it slightly. I want it to just blend in nicely. That is okay. Okay, this one is a little bit darker. You can see the blue a little bit more, some spots. I think too, like once you've put in some blue, then you can go back and grab some white and then put it on top as well, and just kind of build it back and forth a bit with the blue and with the white. I don't know if this is definitely not dry yet, but I'm going to put a little bit more white on top here. Kind of tip it off with my brush. One to the side. Okay, I need to stop touching this area. I said as I kept touching that area. If it's wet, you need to stop. Stop. There's a splashback happening here, so I just want to make it a little bit dark, like whiter at the bottom there. Okay, I still think we need a little bit more details on this waterfall, maybe with a bit more blue. So like in this area, it's definitely okay. Okay, not too shabby. Okay, I'm definitely going to touch that up because this is still too brown. It has to be a lot whiter. And I definitely need more white. I'm just going to get that going. Okay. So next up is I want to create the water that it's dumping into, essentially. So this water is definitely, there's some blue, there's also some black again. I don't know if I'm going to put a lot of that black in, I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Maybe a little bit. Okay, I think, yeah, you know what? I do want to put a little bit of, I do want the black to show up. Okay, so I'm going to start with the black. So I want it to, the corners to be black. Okay, and I want this side the same. This, I think, and then I'm gonna go with blue. I'm gonna put blue in. Put blue. Put blue. And because my brush still has black a little bit on it, the blue becomes a very dark blue. And that is the blue I want to go with. So I'm just going to bring it up this way. I'm trying to keep it a little bit lighter, closer to where it meets this rock formation. So blue, more blue, and then as it goes into the corners in a way, so basically the water's splashing and it's creating kind of like a reverberation. There's a bit lighter, there's some white, there's a bit lighter colors here, and it gets a little bit darker as it goes further away from where the water's hitting in the waterfall. So going back and forth, putting in a little bit of this. I'm bringing the blue slightly in. Okay, I'm going to get white now. And I want to put in some white, and I'm going to have to play with hitting the waterfall, hitting it afterwards. I'm going to have to touch that up again. Okay, so I've got white, and slightly back and forth, and it gets smaller as it gets to the center. That's nice. Okay, and more blue. More black on my brush, so it's getting a little too light, so I need to put a little bit of blacky strokies all on the sides again. Okay, so now it is falling into the water. Not too shabby. I think now I want to create kind of like a mist where it hits. And I also want to make some of my lines on my waterfall a little bit thicker, a little bit more like stronger lines, but I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I do think I kind of want to do it though. I think I'm going to do this like mistiness first. So I'm going to get white paint. Okay. And then I'm just going to like, oof, it's still wet, so I just want to mess up the straight line that I created when I did the water here with white, because everything's splashing. So I'm trying to put a little bit like slight like curves. Still ends up going straight along the sides, right? So I'm still gonna put that, but I want it to be a little misty and creating a commotion, you know, as it lands in here. Okay. So just kind of mess it up a little bit. There we go. So I just kind of made a bit of a commotion at the bottom there. I think I'm digging the way it is. Hi, cousin. Hey, Kathy. How's it going? Yes, I do have replays, so this will be available on my YouTube channel, so you can watch it whenever you so desire, or you can watch it under the videos tab on the Facebook page. It'll be on both places indefinitely. You can watch it whenever you so desire. Okay, so I'm going to put some of them, make them a little thicker, a little more imposing. Can't go up and touch that yet. Ah, it still looks pretty wet. I'm not going to do that yet. Okay. Alright, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put white back on top of this area. I don't think it's fully dry. Okay. Try not to touch it too much and just add more of the white back on. There we go. So it's no longer weird brown water, but actually clean and beautiful white, clear water. I'll put a little bit more white on top here too. I did turn a little bit blue up there. I just want it to still stay more white. And that makes a little more sense. Okay. Feeling like this line I have here is a little too straight. I kind of want to mess it up a little bit. So I don't think it makes that much sense. Yeah, I think that's a little better. It's a little too straight, so I need to like make the water a little bit more. I mean, it does go pretty straight, but I think just messing that up a little bit looks a little bit more natural. We'll see. Putting a little more white in here. Not bad. Alright, cool. A lot of this is very blue, so I'm just going to add a little bit more white into this misty water splashback area. And that wants to go into little line. How pretty. Alright, that's cool. Alright, well, not too bad, eh? It's been about an hour and we have a lot done, which is pretty great. Oh, Ashley, don't. This is a very tricky painting, so don't. It made me like very apprehensive, so don't stress. Like, do the best you can do. Take it step by step. It's definitely challenging, but fun, and that's all that matters. We want to have fun, and I think mostly it's all girls here, so you know, girls just want to have fun. Okay, now abstract. It's hard for me to keep like my abstract mind on because I want to just make things really like detailed sometimes. Okay, I think the next thing that I want to do, so there's this big rock thing here. I don't know if I want to put that in. I think I might forego that rock thing and just like put in some kind of like funky tree, and I'll put in like another like funky tree image like here, I think. I don't think I want to put in this like rock. I don't know. I'm just gonna take a look at it a little closer. It kind of just looks like I don't even know what it looks like. It just looks like a big mound of colorful rock. I'm not super digging it, and I don't feel like I really need that. Okay, maybe I won't make that decision right yet. I think I'm gonna bounce up here and put in some kind of green foliage here. That's what I want to play with a little bit. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I have my bright green. Okay, my beautiful bright green. Let me just see. I'm going to tilt that. Oh, it has a bit. Oh, wow. You have like full. You can't see anything. There we go. Okay. So I think this guy is going to be like bright green foliage, gonna come out, and it's gonna like drop a bit and be all like funky and weird. Okay, I don't even know if it's attached to these guys. These guys I think are in the background, and there's another kind of big green bushy thing that's here. Not sure. Okay, I need more green, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get some kind of nice base that's happening. Okay, and then I want to get a little messy, and then I want to have some leaves behind it, kind of a darker color. Probably should have done these ones first. I'll have to put some green on top of these. I feel like there's some in shadow, some like leaves that are in the background. You can't see as well. That works. Kind of messy and green and weird, but okay, I'm just gonna put some green on top because I should have done those darker ones first. Okay, and I want to get some yellow. More yellow. And I want to just put some on top of some of these branches. Cool. Okay. It looks kind of like a tree that needs some help. Hi, Paula. It's actually just a YouTube video, unfortunately. I do not have any birds, but I do like that it sounds like that. The reason is I have a YouTube nature video with like a waterfall and like birds playing, because it can't play. If I play music on a live, it's fine, but since I want to keep these recordings up, I can't have any copyrighted music playing or else they block my video. So, hence nature sounds. I feel like the background still needs like a lot more work. Part of me wants to play more with this kind of idea and just add some more on this side. Maybe make some higher up. You know what? I'm going to put a little bit more. I'm going to continue this kind of weird thing happening with more darker one here. Mess it up a little bit. And now let's get some green. And some green on top. Yeah, I think that's cool. Yeah, that's good. And let's get some yellow. Yeah. I think that's good. I'm just going to add a little bit more here. I think. Okay, a little bit of yellow. Yeah, I'm digging this weird tree now. Yeah. I know those branches are supposed to be in the background, but I think this is more what I'm feeling. Cool. That's good. Oh, thank you so much, Joe. A close-up, yeah, sure. So I can show, so here is the water base close-up. So you can see how the water is like just hitting and it just looks a little bit like foamy in the water. And then up here is the tree, which again, it wasn't really, didn't start off as a tree. It started off as just kind of like branches in the background, but then I think I like that more. So I might end up doing the same thing on the other side, even though that's not in our inspiration image, but I think I'm digging that. So I think that is what I'm going to do. So you guys can follow it like that if you like, or you can leave it with more, you know, other branches and stuff, like that works too. But yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play with it like this. So like another foliage thing happening here. And then some yellow on top. And touch it slightly. Okay. Ooh, I don't really like this one. This one just looks a little bit weird. Let's put a little bit more. A little more green. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Okay, cool. Let's go back on this side. Yeah. I don't know what's up. Okay, I'm gonna just put it like right like here. Kind of want it to kind of bend like that guy over. Just maybe like, I don't know where to do it. And I said like I'm not creative, just put my own thing in. This is where I get weird because I don't know what to follow, and I think it will look cool with like something on the side, but I'm feeling apprehensive to like actually take a chance and do something different. Okay, what we're gonna do it. It's gonna go right here. Yeah, works out, works out. Let me just pull that off the page on the side. Clean that up a bit. Big white monster. I kind of felt like this was looking like a monster too, so I don't think you're alone in that, Joe. It was giving me that kind of vibe, right? It definitely has that. Putting like the stringy legs, it's like an alien or something. You could go with it though. Touching a little bit more of the other one there. Okay, now let's put some more. play a little bit with this weird branches and stuff. Oh, thank you, Francine. It's me going a little bit rogue, and I'm just adding some more foliage on this side of the... So, yeah, the way the branches were before, I wasn't really digging it. Okay. Ba-dum. Going through quite a bit of green. Okay, let's put a little bit more of this. Some more. I'm going to put this one a little bit higher. Okay, now it's the green. I'm using kind of like a purpley mixed with green for like that base. Purple could work too, like, because it kind of gives a nice like shadow. And then I'm putting green on top of that, and then like giving it a bit more foliage momentum. I don't know, substance. And then I'm going on top of that with some yellow. And everything's with wet, so if I want the yellow to stick, to be more yellow, I need to keep getting more on my brush and then put it on, and otherwise it just blends into the existing color, which sometimes I'm digging it and sometimes I don't. And you can always go back with another color and just blend back into it. Yeah, maybe not. Not there. Okay, good. Cool. I think I'm going to leave that for now, and then I'll move on to some other foliage in this painting that we're going to play with and see how that goes. Why not? My husband always tells me paintings are cartoonish. This one definitely looks like a cartoon. Maybe that's more of your style. Maybe you have more of a cartoonish vibe, which that is really cool. Like, I think that's neat. If that's like your style, then that you should lean into it. Have fun with it. And Jody says, playing with my fan brush, tell me when to stop. That is a hard thing to do. Like, once you get into it, it's kind of tricky to like know when you should be like, okay. Moving on to the next section. It's tricky sometimes. I hear ya. Okay, I think I'm good with what I have so far. I feel like, so what I did wrong, which I am kicking myself a bit, is that I didn't bring my sky far enough behind the stuff I painted in front. And I always say that every time we paint together to remember to do that, but I'll show you close up so you can see that you can see my canvas poking through because I didn't bring that down enough. So I'm just debating, I think I'm going to put a little bit of paint and try to create that line and create the same vibe just so it doesn't look like that because that really bothers me. So I'm going to do that now before I continue on with more of the foliage. But yeah, I'm very annoyed at myself that I didn't bring that far down enough. So I'm just going to start off with like white paint just to give me like a line. just to get some kind of paint on this, in that area that doesn't have it. It's okay. I think I want to play with some yellow actually in this area. I didn't put any yellow in the background initially, but I think that will like brighten it up a little bit, maybe have a little bit of a focal point happening here. I need to tone this down with some pink or something. I can't ruin it. I don't want to ruin it. Okay. Let's do a little bit of the blue maybe. Nice. I like that idea. That's not a bad idea. Like it could be like almost like a fog or like a mist that's emanating, right? That's smart. Yeah, so that's how I kind of fixed it up. So I'll show you what I just did. So I added white first, and then I touched it a little bit with some yellow just to have a differentiator, because obviously like that waterfall top is white and I wanted it to be different than the background. I didn't want it to blend in that way. And then I just put a little bit of like pink, a little bit of blue, and then I used water to kind of blend it all into the background. And I think I got away with it. So that's cool. I was like, oh no, what did I do? Yeah, it kind of has almost like a sunrising effect. Even though it's supposed to be more like a bunch of like trees and like clouds, but you know, I moved the place of this hidden waterfall. The hidden waterfall is now in a different venue. Okay, so next up is adding some cool plants, stuff happening on the sides to make this picture pop and complete it. So I think what I'd like to do is, I think I'm going to start on this side here, and I'm going to just put in with brown paint just like a few lines of where I want like the, I don't know how to say it, like the stems of that tree to kind of be. So I'm going to put it kind of like this, maybe like this. May not be able to see them that well, but I'm just going to put a few stems in just to know like kind of where or how that foliage is going to sit. So it's going to kind of come down, and there'll be like another little one kind of here. It's off the page. So I'm going to just do a few sticks kind of off the page like that. And I'm going to follow a similar kind of vibe that I have up there with the colors. So I'm going to get green. Okay. And then I want to start by putting some green in here, and then making it come down, and making it come down, and then there's some more on this guy. This looks a little flat, doesn't it? Let's make it a little bit puffier. Give it some poof. That works. Okay. Darn, I went out of my blue too. My yellow. Used a lot of my pink colors today, that's for sure. Okay, so let's go through my yellow. I just want to like dab it a little bit into my green. Kind of like smears it a bit. Everything's still wet. this one's in front of it, so we'll do that here. That might be a little much, I don't know. I'm digging it. Yeah, that works. Oh, thanks, Linda. Again, that was a happy little accident. Don't underestimate those. Kind of messed up and it worked in my favor. I'm going to put a little bit darker. You can hardly see it though. A little darker in some areas. Coolio. Valerie, I have let my paint dry. Yeah, no, I hear that. Sounds good. Barely need a painting, and the technique you use are not strokes from like light dabs. Is that correct? Yes, it is. I am using light dabs. The tips of the brush. I think I do, Bev. Yeah, like when I'm doing these areas, I am using more of just the tip of it. Like that is how I'm. Yeah, I would say so. It's funny because I don't think much about it at times, so when you ask those questions, it does make me reflect on how exactly I'm holding or what I'm doing. So yeah, I do put quite a bit of paint like on it, but I do use mostly the tips, and I do like these brushes that are very flat, but then on the side it gives me a nice thin angle to work with. I do like that a lot. I'm going to do this side here now because I want it to be similar to that guy. And I feel like it kind of comes out of like, it's like somewhere on like this rock area. I'm not really sure. So I feel like at the same time maybe it might be easier if I just have it coming out from the side. Maybe I don't need brown at all. You know what? I'm going to second guess myself, and I'm not going to use brown. I'm going to go right in with my greens and start putting that in. That's what I'm going to do. Yes. Yes, I've decided. Okay. So with here, let's put a little bit, yep, on the top. And then I'm always getting more paint on the brush, too. Okay. And then we'll bring it in and out. So this will come out. And I'll go on top of the waterfall a little bit. And then create this other greenery that's emanating from the side of this cliff. Yeah, that looks like a tree. Kind of. Some kind of shrubbery. Alright, cool. So with my pleasure, Bev, I'm glad that helped. Okay, I'm going to now go with my yellow. And then I'm going to, okay, so now here I'm seeing that like this curve here is emphasized a bit in yellow. I'm just going to lightly touch it and then it like mixes in with the green. And then I want to put something here, a yellow here. Okay, and I want to put some in this one. Look above where this is more yellow. Okay, and then with the yellow too, I want this guy here to have some there, and then to have some there. And a little bit more. It stays pretty dark, so I'm not going to add too much those areas, but maybe just like that, I think. That works. Okay, not bad. I do want to put a little bit of brown, I think. I can see some poking out a little bit. Like in the background. A little bit right here. Alright, I'm not sure about that. But I'll show you. Okay, so then that's the tree there on the side. So it just has a little bit of color there, and that's that one there. That's like kind of sticking out. So I have the green, I put a little bit of brown. You can see like little brown lines in the background of it. And I used yellow, just a little bit of highlight, differentiating it slightly. Has that feeling. Boom. Cool. And then I know I spy with my little eye there was like a red bright tree flowering thing, and then there's another bright one here, which I kind of want to go with putting like a lilac bush or something like that. That's what I'm feeling when I look at this guy. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I want to put a few little stems that are very dark, but not black, because then I won't be able to see them. So I'm gonna kind of go like this, that. Gonna go like this, and go like this. There's definitely some like little angles that they take. Like that, and like that. That, maybe. That, like that. Can't really see it too well, but I've just put like really, oh, now that helps when the glare hits it. Just put like little lines that kind of go off of the canvas, and I'm going to put, I want to have this vibe of like a lilac tree or something that's happening there. So how am I going to do that? Well, my dear friends, I'm going to veer a little bit off the path of that guy. Stay similar. And I also noticed that, you know what, I need to touch that up actually before I start. Again, I can see my canvas show through. I don't like it. Not one bit. I'm just going to touch that up slightly. I think that's the only spot that I really showed. Okay, cool. Now I can move on. Okay. So I still have some white on my palette, so I will need some purple, I'll need some white. You might want to use some blue as well, or you can mix blue and red together to get some Oh, that's black. That's not the one I want. You can mix blue and red together to get purple if you don't have your own purple pre-mixed. That works as well. And now I want to play a little bit with this lilac, what's going to be a lilac tree or bush or plant. Okay, so I think, do I want to go right to my thin brush? I think I am. I'm going to go right to my thin brush. Okay, I'm going to go to my thin brush and I'm going to go right to my purple. And this is I'm going to be doing a couple different layers on here. So I'm just going to start with purple just to like figure out where these like lilac sprouts are going to live. So I'm just using my thin brush and I'm just kind of lightly dabbing. Oh, you probably can't see this at all actually now that I looked in there. It's almost impossible to see. Okay, I'm going to do a few and then I will bring the canvas closer to the screen. Or the camera, not the screen. Bringing it to the screen will not be helpful to you. So you can kind of see what I am doing. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm putting, wow, it's so dark. Okay, you can see the shine. So I'm putting like little, to make it look like lilac bush that's growing. I'm going to add more though, so even though it looks very separated, I'm going to have it more full. But I just want to start off by putting them wherever there is a branch. Okay, cool. So now I have one on each branch, and I want to just add a few kind of like randomly. Maybe they're branches that we can't see. So I want to just make this fuller. But I want to use the same kind of technique when I'm putting these on. Okay, so I think it looks a bit more full, which is cool. Thank you, Kayla. It's definitely a fun inspiration image, that's for sure. Okay, I'm going to use white now. And it's still wet, so now it should, I'm going to put white where I want the highlights to be. So I want some to be like on the top here. I'm going to get some more white. So I want to get it like here. Get a little bit more. And then kind of, because it's like a bunch of like little petals that create these beautiful lilac flowers. Okay. Let me get some blue too and just add a little bit of blue. Kind of under-ish. I'm gonna put a bit of shadow with it, I guess. I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm gonna go back to my purple. I'm going to go back and add more with the purple now that I've put some white just to dull it out a little bit. And now it will look like little like petals instead of initially when we just kind of created the shape of it, right? Oh my. Okay. Ooh, I love it. That's a great idea, Jody. She's putting some flowering vines in that area. Do it up. Again, this is like, you can do whatever you want and make it however you so desire, right? So I've kind of, this is how I've been playing with it. That's how it looks a little bit closer. It just has a bunch of different colors. Trying to embrace the whole abstract concept and just get like it kind of having that vibe. I'm digging it. And I would like to add that like red, I don't even know what that is. Something coming out, sticking out there, a nice red. So I'm going to do that now. So I'm just going to get, okay. So I feel like this branch is very noticeably brown, and I feel like it's a little too dark. I'm just going, or light, I should say. Pops out a bit too much. I'm just going to add a little bit of black on it. I don't know. Seems a little weird. Okay. Okay, let's get a nice thin. Let's make another thing coming out of the side. My thin brush is great for like little dabs, but when I want it to actually give me a nice line, it like does not work the way I want it to work. So I'm going to go back with my medium brush so I can get myself a nice solid. There we go. That's better. Okay. So another one right there. And then kind of coming off the side. Like that one. Okay. Kind of random. Okay, and I'm going to put some red. Oops. I think, because my red is quite thin, I don't know if it's going to show up right off the hop, but I'm going to try, and then if not, we might mix it with some white or something to make it pop more. Okay, so these I'm going to just kind of dab red. Ooh, that is a clump of dry paint. That's what happens when it sits there for too long. I did not use it much at all this round. Cool. You keep tapping my iPad. That's funny, thank you. Trying to keep it on for me. I appreciate that. Virtual help. Always appreciated. Okay. I'm just going to get a little bit of like pink kind of just to not have this super bright red, but then to make it a little bit pinky as well. Also because the red is very thin. And I'll kind of mess it up a little bit, but make it look kind of cool. Nice red flower of some sort. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Alright, well, that red is popping, right? Like, it really is eye-catching. I think it's necessary. Might need more red. I love red. Okay, I think, though, I feel pretty good about this. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I think I feel pretty good about it. I mean, there are more things potentially to do. I could add some more different greenery or different foliage that may stick out, but I think I'm pretty happy with it the way it is. So I'm going to sign it, as we should always do when we are done. There we go. Okay. I gotta make sure when I'm all done, I'm going to make sure all my brushes are nice and clean. Make sure all of the acrylic paint has been removed from them. Just gonna grab those ones that I used the most. I think this one too, actually, yeah. Okay, cool. Make sure those paint brushes are put aside so I don't forget to clean them up afterwards. All right, so I think that is where I'm going to call it complete for tonight. So I hope all of you have enjoyed this session. I'd love to see your paintings, so please take a picture of them and add them onto the site, and I'd love to take a look at them, because I think it's so great when everyone has their own spin on it, and we can learn so much from each other as well. So thank you all for joining me. Again, on Saturday, there'll be 3 more options for you to vote on. And I think you're really going to like them, so it should be quite fun. And then the one that has the most votes by Tuesday at noon will be the one that we paint all together live next Wednesday. And again, this video is available so you can share it or watch it anytime you so desire. And again, if you'd like me to host any parties for you, if you're doing any kind of gathering or anything, please reach out, message me, and we can talk about that too. And that's about it. So have a fantastic evening, and I hope you are all well and safe and healthy and had great fun tonight, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, everyone. Take care.